was talking to a gamer, a streamer online.
Mm-hmm.
Just talk about therapy and mental well being and all that. And she was talking about how this woman thought she had what they call it, multi personality disorder.
Okay.
Or borderline personality disorder. And she kept getting diagnosed with, no, you don't have it. But she was in such disbelief, and she was, the therapist was one of the people that interviewed her, but she was in such disbelief she kept going back to different doctors to get re-diagnosed, and about, I guess, a year later she was diagnosed with it, and when that therapist met her again, she actually showed signs of borderline personality disorder.
Compared to before where it wasn't.
Now the question is, I'll tell you her theory or what she's telling me. But the question is, did she always have it and was slowly growing throughout the year? Or did she trick herself into believing that she had it, where then she started to develop symptoms where she actually had it? And so the therapist thought it was a ladder where she kept saying, I had it. She started thinking she had it. And then her body and her mental well-being started to actually show symptoms of having it, where she probably didn't have it before, but because she thought she did, she started to actually. And so I wonder if that's what might happen with anxiety.
Or mental health.
Period.
Because the reason why I asked that question is, you always speak of, and please correct me when I say this word wrong. I'm going to try to say it right. When the thing swings, the pendulum. That, pendulum. Right? The point of that, you want it in the middle, right?
Yeah.
You want it in the middle, but in order for it to get in the middle, it has to settle, right? So it would swing one way, and then it would swing back the other way, and then it gets slower, and then it would settle in the middle. Now, the outcast is the one that's not diagnosed with anything. Dude, you kind of get what I'm saying? Because it's not settled yet.
To the point where people are like, you should go to therapy.
Exactly.
There's something
wrong with you. But I'm like, no, I'm good. Yeah. So to support that story you just said, that's where my question came from. Because what if, and like I said, I don't know the broad. What if everybody has something and you don't want to be the out man out, or you don't want to be the outside man? And granted, I'm speaking from a place of not being diagnosed with anything. Mm-hmm. I don't think people want to be depressed. Mm-hmm. I don't think people want to have anxiety. Mm-hmm. I don't think people want to be diagnosed with these things. So let me say that first. But that is a good story that you shared. What if everybody in society have a crutch? And let's say you're young. And let's say you're entering into society as a teenager or so forth. And you know it's peer pressure and there's things you have to do to fit in. Even as adults, there's things you have to do to fit in. To where it's like, oh, you don't go to therapy? To your point, you don't go to therapy? Like, no. You don't go to marriage therapy? You don't go to marriage counseling? I do think you should, talk about marriage counseling. But, like, there's nothing wrong. And it's almost wrong to say there's nothing wrong with you. And it's like, I wonder when would that settle once it gets done swinging the other way. Like, you're normal if you say, yeah, I deal with depression. You're normal if you say, I have anxiety. You're normal if you say, I have multi-personality disorder. You're normal if you say, I have social anxiety. I don't like big crowds. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But it's kind of hard to tell the difference between my preference and what is crippling me. I don't like to be around big crowds either. Mm-hmm. That's a preference. I don't want to be back-to-back or side-to-side with anybody, like concerts and things. I can't imagine being like in a mosh pit. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But I'm not crippled by it. It's just my preference. I just don't want to be around nobody.
Like if you was there, you could.
Yeah, it's like if I was there, I'd just be like, I'm hating life right now. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
It's not like,
No. I'm just like, this sucks. I'm never doing this again, So that's why I'm like, are we getting to that point to where it's almost abnormal to be normal? Like, what's normal now? Normal is everybody got something? And maybe the point is, maybe the chicken came before the egg or the egg came before the chicken. Maybe people always had something. Yeah. And now medicine caught up. Yeah. Science has caught up. Therapy has caught up to where it's like, yo, people been messed up, we actually got names for this now. You get what I'm saying? So that's why I'm like, I think it's a discussion to have.